I am Laurie Haffenreffer, and I am currently leading our Stewardship Committee in the 2021 Annual Giving Campaign, and I would like to speak candidly with you about our financial needs. It seems to me that every annual giving campaign, the same questions surface. And it seems even more so this fall as we face the challenges of a pandemic. Is our budget changing? What is the plan if we don't reach our annual goal? Can't we run the church like a business? First, our budget. For 2021, the preliminary budget is $1.6 million, the same budget as in 2017, 18, and 19. I say preliminary because with the pandemic and in the transition with a new rector, the vestry is currently assessing several scenarios for the coming year. Most likely, the budget will not change dramatically one way or the other. For a church of our size, over 1,200 members, this is not considered a large budget. But like many Episcopal churches in this country, we must do all that we can to continue to grow, to thrive, and to continue to support our operating costs. Every year, every parish must submit a parochial report to their diocese. Sadly, current data paints a picture that is a cautionary tale. Across the United States, membership is declining, down 17% over the last 10 years. And while there is disparity across regions, there is also a downward trend in Sunday attendance. But a bright spot in this overall picture is that plate and pledge giving has increased over the last 7 years, but only at 1.7%, less than the annual inflation rate. According to Reverend Dwight Shiley, an expert in denominational decline and renewal, quote, "The fact that fewer people are giving more money is not a sustainable trend over the long term." The good news is that St. Peter's is not a part of this downward trend. We are a healthy, growing church, and the same statistics tell us that healthy churches have the ability to become healthier. We have run this church responsibly for over 150 years, and we will continue to do so. But looking forward, pandemic or not, St. Peter's needs the support of all households. To date, 135 households have pledged, only 26%. We must do all that we can together to see that every one of our 500 plus households continues to support the growth of this parish. The 2021 annual goal is the same goal as was in 2020. While we fell short last year by $250,000, PPP funds enabled us to balance the 2020 budget and to continue with our outstanding clergy and staff. Their work in these unprecedented times have allowed us to offer online opportunities for worship and for fellowship, continuing to care for those in our parish and in our community, and to stay connected as much as possible, as safely as possible. For 2021, it is not a clear picture of how or if we will meet our annual goal. We know that due to changes in individual situations, members moving out of town, loss of pledges from deceased members, we can predict a potential deficit of as much as $300,000. And while I stay focused and positive that we will meet our goal, if we do not, the vestry will need to consider where cuts can be made. But I can tell you this, there is very little room to do that. There are areas that could decrease the budget, but they are areas that define who we are as a parish. We could decrease our variable costs, such as outreach. We could take a higher draw from our endowment funds, but historically, we have taken pride in the fact that we do not live off of those funds. We could reduce our financial commitment to the diocese, but doing so is not in keeping with our vision, the work and the mission of this parish. To the last question, is the church a business? Yes and no. Like a business, we have fixed operating costs that we must meet. We experience rising insurance costs, increase in the cost of our campus facilities, and we are affected by inflation and financial trends. And while I have given you much data and numbers, that is not at the core of who we are. We are not a business in the true sense of the word. Ours is the business of doing God's work. And to do that work, we must have funds for our operating costs. But more essential is to be able to continue to grow, to offer the programs that are important to each one of you, and to care for our community. In the coming weeks, we will begin receiving applications from those interested in becoming our next rector. That person will be better able to minister to St. Peter's, to be able to do the business of God's work if there is a sound financial base. As you consider your pledge for 2021, this is not the time to wait and see what he or she will do or what will come next. Today, the average tenure of a rector is 5 years. But for a healthy church such as ours, striving for continued growth, we can hope for a rector who desires to stay at St. Peter's beyond that average. It is not easy to see our doors closed and wonder when we will be together again. But this church is here for you. We have been here for your weddings, your baptisms, and when you have remembered and celebrated the life of a loved one. This is your church home. We are a church family doing God's work. And when you give to St. Peter's, it is not just a pledge to operate a building. You are not giving a pledge to a rector. Your pledge is a reflection of your faith. It is a faith in our past and a faith and hope for our future. Thank you.